I identify as a doctor. I identify as a gym rat. I identify as a baker. I'm a bird! So my chosen concept is identity, and I will be connecting it to language and literature and at least two other IB subject groups, such as chemistry and TOK. Chemistry explores identity through the transformation of substances, showing how substances' identity can shift when it undergoes different conditions. Think of it like your favorite ice cream melting on a hot day. Same ice cream, different form, melted. In The Harder They Fall, Nat Love's identity similarly transforms in response to the challenges and pressure he faces. Just like how water can shift from solid to liquid, Nat's character evolves from a simple, quote-unquote, bad guy to someone whose actions are shaped by loss, revenge, and his need for justice. His identity is in flux, influenced by the quote-unquote temperature of his past and environment. Chemistry reveals that identity is not a fixed thing, but something that can change when exposed to new conditions. Like how ice turns to water, Nat's identity shifts, showing that who we are is not set in stone. In TOK, identity is explored by examining how perception and knowledge acquisition shape our understanding of who we are. Imagine you are watching a movie like The Truman Show. You are seeing Truman's life, but he doesn't know that everything around him is scripted. His identity is shaped by the fake world built for him, not by his own knowledge or experiences. A little bit like the snow globe in this reindeer, trapped inside. This challenges our idea of identity by asking, how much of who we think we are is based on what we know, and how much is shaped by what others tell us, or what we see around us. In real life, think about how you curate your social media presence. Is that really who you are, or is it an identity crafted by the expectations of others? TOK forces us to question how much of our identity is self-created and how much is influenced by external forces we might not even recognize. Truman's manipulated world challenges us to think about the construction of our own identities, pushing us to ask, are we living our truth, or are we just playing a role? In language and literature, identity is explored through character development and narrative perspective, revealing how external pressures and internal struggles shape how we see ourselves. Nat Love's identity is complicated. On the surface, he's an outlaw seeking revenge, but underneath, he's someone grappling with trauma and a desire for justice. It's like meeting someone who seems tough, but then hearing their backstory and suddenly everything clicks. In literature, characters often challenge the identities society assigns them, and shows us how identity is constantly being negotiated. Look at Gatsby from The Great Gatsby. He spends his whole life creating an identity to fit into a world that doesn't seem to even understand the real him. This speaks to the tension between who we truly are and how the world sees us, which is something we all experience in real life. Just like Gatsby and Nat Love, we constantly balance how others perceive us and who we feel we are on the inside. In literature, these complex characters show us that identity is never simple. It is a mix of internal desires and external labels. So what's the bottom line? Identity is a dynamic concept, constantly shifting, evolving, and changing based on the forces around us. Whether it is chemistry, where identity shifts like water, turning from ice to liquid, or TOK, where identity is questioned through the lens of external influences and knowledge, or literature, where characters like Nat Love and Gatsby show us the conflict between who we are and how we are seen by the world. It is clear that identity isn't static. It is a complex dance between personal experiences, societal expectations, and the external pressures we face. In real life, this idea plays out in how we present ourselves online, how we cope with challenges, and how we navigate the expectation placed on us. Identity, just like chemistry or literature, isn't fixed. It is a living, breathing process that constantly adapts.